May marks Lupus Awareness Month, a chronic autoimmune disease that affects more than 1.5 million Americans. And 9 out of 10 people diagnosed with lupus are actually women.
That's right, but this disease is something that's often not seen, not heard, and is frequently unrecognizable even by medical professionals. But I spoke with 2 women who are living with lupus, who are working to give this invisible illness more visibility, showing others that they too are not alone. Check it out. Erica Lynn is a podcast host, a mother, a wife, and a community advocate. But for months, her daily life was coupled with joint pain, fatigue, hair loss, and breathing issues that were keeping her from her daily activities. She visited multiple doctors to find out why her body was reacting this way.
And I know it sounds odd, but when you're that sick and things are coming back okay, it's a little defeating because you know something's wrong. You can feel something's wrong, but everything's coming back normal. And so you start really thinking like, is it me?
After multiple doctor visits, she finally received a shocking diagnosis from her rheumatologist that she was living with lupus.
In her office, and just in passing casual conversation, she goes, oh, so, you know, what's your treatment for lupus like, or something along those lines. She just kind of inserted it, and I stopped and I said, I'm sorry, what was that?
Lupus is a chronic autoimmune disease where the body's immune system mistakenly attacks its own healthy tissues and organs.
Most people don't know what lupus is. They've never heard of it. I always joke, I say, chances are you know someone with lupus. You just didn't know that you knew someone with lupus.
And as Erica began uncovering more of her diagnosis and learning how to treat this illness, she found solace in the Michigan Lupus Foundation.
From there, it was like a breath of fresh air. I started to hear people talking about things that I had never, like, you feel so alone. You feel like you're the only person like experiencing all of this, and then you hear people talking about it and saying, yeah, I had that too, or this is what I did, or these are the questions I asked, ask for this test. That was so helpful for me in those first like 6 months of officially knowing I had lupus.
One of the people Erica found solace with was Kimberly Diamond, the executive director of the Michigan Lupus Foundation, and a lupus survivor herself.
Yeah, definitely. So it's estimated that 14,000 people in Michigan have been diagnosed with some form of lupus. But still 2/3 of the US population does not know what lupus is. It's kind of, a lot of people feel like they need to hide it so that they're not judged. But then at the same time, because you look okay, people don't understand exactly how bad you feel.
Since her diagnosis, Kimberly receives care and doctor notes to explain her illness, but is still misunderstood by those who can't see her diagnosis.
Well, I've had people leave notes on my windshield saying that I shouldn't be parking there. I live in an apartment complex. I have gotten, weird looks or questions about why I'm in the handicap space. And I know I'm not alone in that. A lot of lupus patients experience the same thing. So it's just creating awareness that, again, not all disabilities are visible.
The Michigan Lupus Foundation works to advocate and improve the patient experience with health insurance, medications, and disability rights across the state. From advocacy walks and support groups, the Michigan Lupus Foundation works to make sure those who feel alone with this illness are not. Erica tells me that she feels a sense of guilt with living with an invisible illness.
When somebody has a broken leg, people can understand why they can't keep up, right? If somebody is experiencing hair loss from chemotherapy due to cancer, they understand that they have, cancer, the big C word. And so when you have something that people can see, they're a little bit more understanding. They're a little bit more empathetic, right? They're not as judgmental about it. When you don't have something that people can already see, there's a little bit of judgment involved. There's a layer of judgment involved in what you can and can't do.
Physically, Erica's abilities have changed.
I used to be able to. I used to say that a lot. I used to be able to do this. I used to be able to run a mile. I used to be able to. And that was something I had to actively work to take out of my vocabulary, because that doesn't matter anymore. I always have the conversation of, that is wonderful and no one gets to take that from you. You did that. You did that, girl. I'm like, you did that. And now you're gonna do something different. I always try to frame it as something new and something different. It's a new adventure. It doesn't have to be bad. It doesn't have to be negative.
How very inspiring. You know, you would never have known, but it's very, very inspiring to know that she keeps going and obviously doesn't feel alone with these great organizations.
That's right. And if you're interested in supporting the fight against lupus, you can join Erica, Kim, and many others next weekend at the Lansing Walk for Lupus at the state capitol. You can find more information and register at michiganlupus.org/events, and donations made to the Michigan Lupus Foundation help ensure that they're able to continue to work hard and support lupus patients and their families. So we have that information below, plus we'll have it tonight on the WILX website, but we'll be right back.